What I'm trying to do here is informally present information. I don't really present things formally, but I'm trying to present real information that I feel that I've come to know that I feel could help others. What this I intend it to be, which I'm just going with whatever comes out, how it comes. I intend this to be about 7 luminaries, 7 governors, 7 chakra system, how they interrelate within us for a picture, so to speak, inside of one's own inner cosmology. It's an explanation of things I consider deeply, very deeply, all these different things, to tie them together into a picture inside myself. So, what I say very well might not line up with things that you've looked at or considered or feel for yourself. And that's fine. That's cool, because I'm not saying I'm right or correct about anything. What I am trying to convey is that when I took in the trivium and the quadrivium, again, that's 7 steps, so there's another 7. When I took in that method of learning, learned that method of learning and thinking and considering, and I tied all those steps to things as best I could inside myself. That very last one, the 7th one, astronomy, deeper so I would say astrology. The point for me was to get meaning, some kind of meaning from what I saw above me that I could tie into me down here, down below. So it's the as above, so below thing. Another very important 7 to tie in here is the 7 Hermetic principles. So that's something you could look into and look at in nature itself, natural law. So let me get into this. I'll start at the bottom of the spine, or Saturn, the root chakra. For me, it was tying. Now, I'm speaking of these as 7 luminaries, 7 energies. 7 energies above that all operate on their own frequency. And the vibrations they pass to us down here. In our physiology, our bioelectromagnetic physiology can pick up and perceive the vibrations of everything around, down here and up there. Is what I felt inside. So, starting with Saturn at the bottom, Saturn or Satan or Chronos or time or the taskmaster, however you might want to label it, that luminary, that energy, to me, it was the recognition at the bottom, the red, the root chakra, base of my spine. That was my time here. My time in physicality was represented by that. How I chose to spend my time, that's what I had to come to realize I was doing wrong. I was misusing that energy in the incorrect way. So part of this for me during my inner process was the recognition of the misusing of all these energies unknowingly is how I was acting. To me, part of the process was giving back all of the energy I could and all the belief I could and all the different systems I had been taught to think, giving it back to out there as best I could and rebuilding in a correct way. So this is a part of my rebuilding, or explaining it as best I can. So that just being the physical body's existence here, that can tie into the rings, materialism, the this and that, if you go that path and you get locked into that repetitive cycle of that path. And it doesn't have to be that. Time can be spent here more wisely to gain wisdom, to maybe leave here and get past those rings, though and they're not solid things either from my point of view. But anyway, let me move up to the sacral chakra area. The orange area, the reproductive area of the body. For me, that was Mars and Venus, those 2 luminaries. Mars representing the masculine energy, Venus representing the feminine energy. my body representing the masculine representation of masculine energy and the gender of male. But still, in that same area, the same energy, that reproductive energy, that intertwinement, that kundalini energy of male, female, or electric and magnetic, still very intertwined because I had parents of either sex, a male and a female, which made me a representation of one or the other. I happen to be male. Though inside me, I also carry the feminine energy, as does everyone else, as I do my masculine energy. They're intertwined, and they're meant to work in conjunction in harmony with the recognition of you get to spin in existence here as one or the other. So moving up from that, the solar plexus chakra, the yellow for me, Jupiter there. Why Jupiter? Jupiter, the gas giant. The gas giant, why? Now, not as they describe, because of the gases created within my solar plexus area from my digestive system, from the microflora and fauna, the life forms that inhabit and break down the whole food plant-based diet I consume now that I learn to use that energy correctly and feed it the right energy to resonate in harmony with that energy of Jupiter. So in my solar plexus filled with gun energy, I can produce good action. So next one up, the heart, the green, the heart chakra, the earth, right here, right where I am, while I consider these luminaries above me, these 7 luminaries and how they tie together. I am very much here on earth, in that heart chakra, that intelligence of the heart, that very much needed part of the consciousness that feels and has the ability to empathize. That's the connection to the soul I found while getting to live here, ruled by Saturn in this place of physicality for a certain amount of time. So, moving on to more of the energies up there, because the earth energy where we live is all around us and it's solid and we walk on it every day. But next up, the throat chakra, Mercury, the messenger. What I realized is that power of voice and language and the word misspoken or misused, especially when you are taught wrong and you repeat incorrect language as spells cast on others to reinforce incorrect or immoral belief. That is that power of Mercury. That's the power of the throat chakra. Blue, by the way, the color of that chakra, the voice. And I had to learn to use my voice correctly and that energy correctly. With that is very much part of the beginning, the trivium, the grammar, the logic, the rhetoric. The grammar, really, really understanding the words I was using and what they meant and how I was using them. The logic I was using, how I was lining up those words to convey messages, I had to correct because I was horribly broken. My logic was horribly broken with belief. And that came out in my rhetoric. And that took probably a good year of hard actual study of words and meanings and inner contemplation of my own word usage and how to correct these thought patterns of words to correct it. It's tough. But I found that one can come to know better. So up from there, the third eye chakra. The third eye chakra, the moon. Why the moon in the third eye? Because the moon provides light at night, does it not? The ones with their third eye open with a partially functioning pituitary gland, that wake-rest cycle regulation within the body, that's very much connected to night in the moon. Well, that light can let one see in the dark, and if one has a decalcified Well, see, if one's brain works correctly, that third eye will be open and you will perceive these things and these patterns and things within oneself and then be able to relate it to the out there and see how really all of this and the symbology of all this and the worship of only one aspect or two aspects of this can be used to control entire groups and cults. You'll see how it all ties together and works. That's the importance of that third eye. So the things I'm saying is not to try and lead anyone down a path of false belief. I'm talking about very real energies that affect us all, that are within us all, that was all made up by something more than all these energies than we can perceive. That's what I'm getting at. So yeah, also with that third eye. In the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. In this land, the way they've toxified everyone to not be able to use their third eyes, except for a very select few in these cults, the ones that want to be kings, yes, they're playing out their fantasy roles as kings and queens and princes and princesses because others can't see it. They can't see the darkness that is within them. So, in the land of the blind, where the one-eyed man is king, the one-eyed man that has both eyes open can see the one-eyed man that is playing king for the spiritual child he or she is, and see that they're enslaving the populace with their modicum of extra knowledge that they hold so dear and keep from the public. Because the next step up, the last step inside with those 7 chakras is the crown chakra, the sun, the light. That's the understanding and understanding of all these energies intertwined and giving back all that energy to the out there when it was used incorrectly, at least for me, and igniting the true sun of my true energy and connection with creation, whatever that means, however that is labeled. My very real connection and my very real wrong path that I walked because I did not understand energy. I didn't understand the energy frequency vibration and then be able to tie it into physicality here on the ground in the real world to know that, oh, we're all here, right here in this same place. So I'm not trying to lead anyone to a place of out there to different solid planets or different worlds or realms or other dimensions or any of that stuff. I'm trying to say that those very real energies that are the luminaries above us very well may tie very deeply into all of us, much deeper than we were led to realize at the beginning, and realize that we were much more. Because when you recognize that, you see why they call the ones out there stars. The stars. It's because they worship whatever star they pick with whatever mythology they got attached to and indoctrinated with to believe. And then they get you to worship them because you look at them as the stars without realizing your very real connection with the stars that rotate above you every single day and night. And know that you can be much more than any of them that you watch and worship. Much, much more and interconnected, and see what it all is for what it truly is. You can see these children for what they truly are, and we can all turn our backs on them and turn our attention away from them. So the psychic vampires cannot continue to draw your energy from you and then use it against you. So, a quick recap, I guess, because I feel I've said enough for now. That feels good to me, however this came out. But the 7 chakras, the 7 governors, the 7 luminaries, 7 virtues, the 7 deadly sins, how it all ties together. If you can cognitively put that together to make an inner picture of your own cosmology, I would say, then you've completed that last step of the quadrivium, the astrology part, and you've built your own inner cosmology, whatever that looks like. With your crown chakra open and you shining your light on the world, and you taking action in this world to bring change and morality to this world, because this is what my heart has come to want, and that energy in that heart. And that's all I try to convey with these videos. So thank you for listening. I appreciate it. I had another couple thoughts I wanted to tie into this. The tree of knowledge, the mind, the brain. To me, the energy there, those neural pathways, that energy that moves throughout the brain that causes thought and emotion, I recognize that to be the tree of knowledge. I recognize that to be where I was taught to eat from, so to speak, by being trained with a bunch of bad thought, bad belief, not connected to morality, which I came to understand was the tree of life in the heart, which makes sense with the heart being, that chakra being earth here where we are. That to me became the tree I had to eat from inside, the tree of life, to break the beliefs that were causing me to act from that tree of knowledge that had become so corrupted in me because of a lifetime of indoctrination and toxification. So I wanted to tie that in. All right, I guess that's it. Thanks for listening.